Good morning, everyone. We are very honored to have Senator Blumenthal here to meet with us to provide an award to Griswold Pride. The town of Griswold is very proud to have this recognition. Griswold Pride has been a mainstay of our community for nearly 10 years. It's led by Miranda Mahoney, who has done so much for this community, has provided lots of prevention for students, for adults, for their parents. She has a coalition of people that work with a lot of drug awareness, education, prevention, and recovery. The sadness that comes with today is is National Overdose Day. It snaps us into the reality of why we have this prevention organization. Addictions are so hard to beat for people. They need to understand how they can maybe prevent them. And the younger that we get to some of these kids and parents, the better off they can be and try to manage their own lives. We remember those we have lost to these addictions. But I would like to just tell people if they would please reach out to Miranda if you're listening to this, if you need help. And we are so grateful to have Senator Blumenthal here. Without any further ado, I would love to introduce him. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Dana. Uh, Thank you so much, Dana. I am really excited and proud and joyous to be in Griswold on this exquisitely beautiful day and to really celebrate Griswold's commitment to this cause that is so important to Connecticut and our entire country. When I told some of my colleagues I'm going to Griswold, Connecticut on Overdose Awareness Day, they said, Griswold, Connecticut, that's someplace in Connecticut. It's a small town, rural. I said, it's probably one of the most beautiful towns in the whole world. And it is rural. But don't mistake for a moment that the problem of substance abuse disorder is limited to big cities like Bridgeport or Stamford or Hartford. This problem afflicts every community. If you think yours is immune from it, you're in denial. And I'm here to say thank you to Griswold Pride, to the people of Griswold who are taking a stand, who are facing this problem head on. Griswold Pride has existed since 2015 when people got together and they formed an organization called Partnership to Reduce the Influence of Drugs for Everyone, beginning with drinking, alcoholism, beginning with marijuana, which can be a gateway drug, beginning with lack of care by parents and others for this problem, not out of malevolence, but simply, in effect, because of the pain that's caused when a child or a friend or a relative is going through this disease. And yes, it is a disease. It's not a moral failing. Addiction is a disease. Substance use disorder is a disease. And it can begin in a variety of forms. As I know from my 4 children, all of them had sports injuries. All of them were prescribed opioids. My wife and I grabbed the prescription and we took it away because we have learned all too commonly that kids begin taking these opioids after sports injuries and surgeries, and they have too many of them. So they either sell them or they continue to use them. I recently broke my leg. I was knocked over in the Yukon Huskies victory parade, had to have surgery, 3 pins put in my left femur, and I was prescribed these opioids. And I said, no way, because they are so addictive. So even with the best intentions, people can succumb to substance use disorder. And Griswold Pride has made such strides, has contributed so much that my colleagues and I, Senator Murphy, uh, Sen- Congressman Courtney, and I wanted to team up and make sure that the effect of Griswold Pride is in fact multiplied. Griswold Pride can be a force multiplier in efforts against addiction and substance use disorder. So I'm here to announce this $625,000 grant from the federal government. It may seem like a lot of money, but it marks just a down payment on amounts that should be committed by this country to combating substance use disorder. As I said at the very beginning, we're all affected by it, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. We all know and love someone who has been affected. And so increases in the readiness and resources of Griswold Pride, enabling it to do more outreach, give it the money it needs to do harm reduction through education and community action, enabling it to increase youth mental health services. Those kinds of impacts of this funding are just tremendously important. It is collaborative, involving a lot of different professional expertise and skills, and it is community, Griswold coming together and recognizing that, in fact, a community can make a difference, and no matter whether it's a big or small town, we all have an obligation to commit to addressing this problem and facing it head on in the way that Griswold Pride is doing. And I'm really, really grateful to Miranda Mahoney for being here and the great work that she has done as project coordinator, and to Sean McKenna as superintendent of schools. I know teachers are on the front line of this problem. They're often dealing with it every day. We need to give them more support, more counselors and mental health professionals in the schools, as well as more skills and training, and more support in terms of attracting more teachers, providing them with the training that they need. So I will ask Miranda to give you some more of the details of how Griswold Pride is going to benefit from this $625,000 grant. Miranda.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you for supporting our coalition and our grant application for the Drug-Free Communities Program. Today, as we acknowledge and honor International Overdose Awareness Day, we bring together community stakeholders to remember without stigma those lost to overdose. And we commit to take action to prevent them from taking the lives of our residents. Our community has been hit hard by the opioid epidemic. With a fatal overdose rate nearly twice the state average, everyone here knows someone, loves someone, is someone, or has lost someone to an opioid use disorder. With so many lives lost, prevention is oftentimes overshadowed by the immediate need for treatment, recovery, and harm reduction resources. But prevention is a strategy that will save our children from a lifetime of struggle. The Drug-Free Communities Grant will allow us to integrate prevention into all aspects of Griswold Public Schools and town committees, ensuring sustainable, evidence-based prevention happens here. We look forward to continuing to work together to empower a new generation with the protective factors and resiliency skills they need to build a healthy future, prioritize their mental health, prevent substance use disorders, and end overdose. Thank you to CHR for having our back and going after these grants and being so successful. Thank you for being our fiscal agent and managing the grant. And thank you to the Griswold community for supporting our coalition. And most importantly, thank you, Senator Blumenthal, for your unrelenting support of our coalition and for making prevention a priority.
Good morning, colleagues. Senator Blumenthal, Griswold town officials, Miranda Mahoney, and Griswold community partners. On behalf of Griswold Public Schools, I'd like to congratulate Miranda Mahoney and, by extension, our community partner, Griswold Pride, for receiving a new round of federal grant funding to continue the important work of positive community change. Griswold Pride partners with and supports Griswold Public Schools in various meaningful ways. Our school community, supported by a strong Board of Education, has committed to the social and emotional wellness of all of our students so that our students are connected to our school system and welcomed in equitable and supportive learning environments. For the past few years, Griswold Public Schools have remained committed to social and emotional learning as our top district goal, because in order for students to grow in their learning environments, in order for them to thrive in the post-pandemic era, they must have the mental health awareness and competencies and associated resources available to them. In our collaborative work, Griswold Pride has been right by our side, supporting professional development on trauma-informed approaches, providing supplemental support for calming centers in our schools, and participating on our various committees, from our SEL committee to our District Partnership Advisory Council. So we are thrilled about our continued partnership with Griswold Pride. We are grateful for this new round of federal funding, and in collaborating together as a united community, we students' social and emotional development to move Griswold Public Schools forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone about this topic or any other? I really want to thank again, there's an old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. This picture is really worth 1,000 words. Community coming together, CHR, Griswold Pride. Thank you to First Select Woman Dana Bennett, and to all, because your commitment is really reflected in this application. Your commitment, not just for a few days or a week or a year, but over the long term, which is what's necessary. And on this beautiful day, for all who have been lost, because there were not more Griswold Pride in other communities or in this community earlier. And the reason that we're providing here hopefully will help you to save lives with the great work that you're doing. So thank you to every one of you, and to the many who couldn't be here, thank you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Blumenthal, and congratulations to Miranda and CHR, and thank you to the school district who really supports the community.
Yeah. Thank you. Sure.